My name's Maia Toll. This is Herbalist. I am trained as an herbalist. I trained in Ireland, and I got into this the way a lot of people get into alternative medicine. I got sick, and Western medicine didn't know what to do with me. Plants are as alive as humans are. They are as alive as your dog or your cat, and they have their own personalities. Magic to me is the moment of connection with the world around us, when we can kind of reach out from our body, our inner space, and connect with other beings, other energies, other things outside of ourselves. There was one little town called Beacon, and it was very old factory town, boarded up, not in great shape. And I thought, oh, okay, I can afford to do something here. A museum from New York had decided to build an outpost in Beacon. They'd bought a few of the factories down on the river, and they were bringing their large sculpture collection up to Beacon. So all of a sudden, our little town, our little, wrecked up Honda Toyota town suddenly has BMWs and Mercedes cruising down the streets, people coming in from Manhattan to check it out. My house had tripled in value. So I knew that, when I sold it, something different was going to be able to happen. And I didn't know what that was. And I made this long list of things I'd always been interested in studying. And then one night I had a dream. And in the dream, a very androgynous looking woman with super long dark hair, down to her knees, flew me over the ocean. And we went to a place that I knew was Ireland. It was really wooded. And she said, "This is where you'll go for your initiation." Ireland is an island, and the energy on an island is gonna be different. It's very often misty and foggy, and your sight is diminished. And so I think it's easy there to start to tune into your other senses and to rely on your vision a little bit less. You can get into old tombs and burrows and things like that, and just be alone in these very ancient places, and to just take the time alone and be there and commune with the rocks and the earth and the sky is a really unusual opportunity. As science pushes further and further out, things that seemed impossible, things that seemed like science fiction are becoming a reality. I saw this in real time with herbal medicine. In the time that I was learning herbal medicine, a PhD student in Tel Aviv did her thesis on elderberry, right? So all of a sudden, this thing that was folklore, was green medicine, was magic, all of a sudden it's science. All of a sudden, it's being bottled up by large pharmaceutical companies and put on the shelf. When I was teaching herb classes, it was always fascinating. There were always one or two people who would come in from the garden and they'd say, "I saw a woman in a long dress standing above the yarrow plant." You have two people who saw something and 18 other people who used other ways to interpret the same intuitive information. It's all how our individual consciousness takes in extra information, runs it through our channels, and spits it back out in a way that our brain can work with. There's something about allowing the mystery, allowing the magic, that gives dimension to your life. It might not mean anything to anyone else. It's difficult, I think, for us to slow down enough, feel enough instead of think, to tune into the personalities of things that are not human, that are not using language.